Good, good evening, everybody. And I'm Shraddha, and I'm back again with a topic of science, which is spicy riddles. So, if we talk about the word spicy, तो हमें क्या याद आता है? By spicy, we mean something related to spices, and by spices, we usually get into the kitchen because we usually find spices there only. So in our homes as well, every day in the morning, in the afternoon, in the night as well, we look at our mothers or our cooks that are busy in cooking and they use lots and lots of spices there. So क्या सबने spices word सुना है? And what do we call spice in Hindi? Can anybody tell me that? So spices are basically the masale. Masala is the word that we call spice in Hindi. So these are the masales that we use in our dishes to cook. तो spices are different kind of masales. तो क्या कोई लिस्ट दे सकता है कि कौन से मसाले आपके घर में यूज होते हैं या कुछ भी कोई भी मसाला any kind of masales that you know that you've heard of. So let's talk about that. So if anybody would like to answer about this. Is there any masalas that you know or you've seen your mothers putting inside the dish? So basically there are variety of spices that our mothers cook. And they're different in color. Some of it is in red, some of it is in black, and some is in yellow, and so on. So here we are going to learn about different spices. So this is the first spice which we need to guess. I'm pretty sure that by looking at this picture you are able to guess it very properly that what spice is this. And we have a huge sack of this spice here along with its masala. Okay, so it says I can be powdered fine. So the first line says that this spice can be powdered fine. मतलब इसको हम अच्छे से powder form में convert कर सकते हैं. And the use of it is to make food hot and spicy. This is enough hint to tell us that what spice is this. हम मिर्च बढ़ाने के लिए spice बढ़ाने के लिए क्या add करते हैं dish में जिससे हमें तीखी लगे and we find it really spicy and we make different sounds while having the food. So it says that it can be powdered fine and to make food hot and spicy it is used because as you know when you go to some restaurants or to somebody's home you usually find some of the foods is really spicy. So this is because of this ingredient. So it says if too much of me is added I make you gasp. ऐसे we do like that, isn't it? How many of you have experienced this sound before by having food? You have a running nose whenever you eat a spicy food and you make sounds like kind of, which has been spelled this way. So you gasp while having a food which has this ingredient. And your eyes and nose begin to water. That means, yes, you have a running nose, your eyes and nose begin to water. So if you can recall with your daily life that what kind of food is that, what kind of spice has been added to that food so that you start making such noise and you find it very hot and spicy and you cry. Now this cry is not the authentic cry that we are talking about, the genuine cry. It is about since your mouth and nose is running, since your mouth and nose are getting watered, so you tend to cry. Okay, and think and tell me who am I? Tell me quickly who am I? So this is basically a riddle. It has given you several hints here. And can anybody relate this to their real world and think about it and tell me what spice is that? What do we call this spice as? I'm sure you all must have seen something in red in your kitchen and it is used almost in every dish to make it a bit spicy. Some of the mothers use it very little according to their taste and according to their needs, and some of them who likes spicy food adds lots and lots of this thing. So let's take a minute and think. And क्या कोई बच्चा बता पाएगा कि ये कौन सी स्पाइस है which looks red? So, like one of you has said that this is red chili. This is known as red chili, and this is the mirch powder, which we call in Hindi lal mirch, that we exactly call in Hindi. So when we make it in the powdered form, it usually becomes like that. Some of them uses this in this way as it is, and some of the mothers make it in the powder form and add the powder to the dishes. It is used in both the ways. So this is red chili. Okay, so now let us write this over here. Okay, I'm going to use red color for that because this is red. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to use this red color. I'm going to type over here red chili. Alright, so this is the first spice that we need. Now the question here is, how many of you have used yourself this red chili? How many of you have tried putting this as an ingredient while helping your mother in your dish? How many of you have used this, and how? By what means do you use it? Do you use it with your hands and put it into the dish, or do you take a spoon and make a spoonful of this red chili and then you put it into the dish? So किस किस ने किस फॉर्म में कैसे यूज़ करी है डिश if they have helped their mothers? Okay, some of you, that's great. So this is the first thing, and we also have green chilies. If you have ever walked into your kitchen, green chilies are another main ingredient in your dishes because they also make the food spicy, but they're not as harmful as red chilies. Green chilies are natural, like they give a good taste as well, and they're not that much effective. They are good to use and they're good to have. So few people also use green chilies, and if they want to give a bit of reddish color, then they use red chilies, which are a bit more spicy. Now let's move on to the yellow box, and first, before reading the hints, let us have a look at this and let us guess that what spice is this. Can you see this? I can find it in my fridge all the time. I am damn sure कि आप सबको भी दिखती होगी ये घर में. This is some vague figure over here, and this can be only of one spice. What is that? Yes. So let's now read the hint and let's guess what is this. It says grind me and powder me. This is also the same as above because it can be grinded and it can be converted into the powder form. So the first hint is that you can grind it properly or you can powder it. To make your food look yellow, this is the biggest hint for this spice, and every mother uses this for to make a yellow dish. or a dish to for adding a yellow color to your dish, this thing is used. So can you first give me few examples of dishes which you find in yellow color? I have variety of examples because daily we eat 3 to 4 kind of meals. Some of them are in yellow color, some of them are not in yellow color. So can anybody give me an example of a dish in yellow color? Yes. So the regular which we call as khichdi in our house. So हम सब खिचड़ी खाते हैं whenever our stomach is not that fine, it's upset. So हम खिचड़ी खाते हैं and usually khichdis are in yellow, and whatever dals we eat, they are also, some of them are in yellow color. So why? This is because of this spice which has been put into it. So let's read the hint. So it is to make the food yellow, and you can grind it and powder it. I am mixed in oil by granny. So you usually mix this in oil and apply it to wounds quickly. Now, with this hint, we all can think a bit, we can ponder a bit, and we can guess that what spice is used to heal our wounds. This is the desi and the gharelu ilaj which your grannies use. This is the most effective thing which you can use naturally to heal your wound. So, what is that? Let's think about it. Does anybody know the answer or the remedy which are used by our grannies to heal the wounds? They apply something in yellow, and this is the thing which is also added in your milk whenever you're not well, and whenever you've been met with an accident, god forbids, but this is used when you need to heal from inside or outside. Next hint is, and applied to wounds quickly. I heal all wounds. See, that's what is written over here. Big and small. That is why I am loved by all. Think and tell me, who am I? Tell me quickly, who am I? So this spice is not exactly the same as the spice which is here, because this spice cannot heal your wounds. If you apply this spice to your wounds, it will make it worse. It will make it more itchy, and you'll feel a burning sensation out there if you apply this one over your wounds. But the spice here in yellow works in some other way, and it heals your wounds from inside and outside. So let's take a minute. Let's think of those incidents when your grannies uses this, and then let's discuss how does it look, what do we call it in your house. So think about it, students. This is known as turmeric. I'm going to write this. Turmeric. Turmeric. If you've heard about this, this is the major ingredient so this is the major ingredient which is used, and this is known as turmeric. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. We have another spice over here. Now, before reading the hints, let's have a look at this picture very closely and let's decide that have we ever seen this before or not. So this is again one major ingredient, and let's read the hints. It says small and round like a pearl. Now the statements are describing its look. It is in black color as you can see, and it is small and round. See, a zoomed picture has been given over here. This is how the spice look. It looks like a pearl. Okay, so it looks like a pearl. It's in black color and it is small and round like a pearl. And I am black when I am whole. Whole. By whole means that it is not in powdered form. It has not been crushed or grinded. This is in its original form. It comes as a whole like that. It's in circular form. Okay, and it's in black color. And I can be powdered coarse or fine. Again, this thing can also be powdered. It is being seen in our house in two forms, either like that in the whole form or in crushed form in the form of powder. So I can be powdered coarse or fine. By this statement it says that to make a spice in the powder form, there are two ways. Either you can leave it a bit coarse, that means khurdura, or like not in a proper powdered form, not in a smooth powdered form. So it is left as it is in a bit crushed form. The second way of powdering it is to make it fine, fine like a sand. Okay, so it is properly crushed, and that's how a smooth powdered form is created. And the next one says that a sharp and spicy taste is mine. इसका भी कुछ हद तक रेड स्पाइस रेड चिली वाला टेस्ट है, वो ज़्यादा है थोड़ी, वो आपको इट मेक्स यू क्राई इन दैट फॉर्म, इट मेक्स यू गैस्प. बट इसमें ऐसा नहीं है. इट गिव्स यू टिंट ऑफ स्पाइस, इट गिव्स यू a tint of sharp and a spicy taste, and whether it is salty or sweet, I am added as a special treat. Do you know what? That this spice is not only used in salty, the things which require salty flavor, but it is also used somewhere where the things are in sweet form. This is the speciality of this thing. It's not just put to make the dish salty, but also when the dish has to be made in slightly sweet form, this is a major ingredient for that. Again, the last line says, guess, who am I? So let's zoom this picture up a bit and let's see how does it look like and in what form do we see it at our home. So could anybody answer me कि इस चीज़ को आपने अपने घर कभी देखा है या नहीं? So over here, as some of you are telling me that you have seen this kind of thing in your kitchens, and you also see your mom putting some powdered black powdered thing in dishes. So this is known as black pepper. Okay, so the name for this is black pepper. This is not black salt, this is black pepper, and it is used in several dishes. Now can anybody give me examples of dish in which this is used? Now this can be a slightly tough question because most of you won't be knowing, because this is a very secret ingredient to make the dishes even tastier. But let's think about the dishes in which this is used. So, um, who among you all had pasta ever in their life? White sauce pasta or red sauce pasta? And किन किन बच्चों को खाना पसंद है, किन किन ने अब तक खाया है? मैंने तो बहुत खाया है, and I really like to have white sauce pasta. उसका major ingredient, even if it is in a bit sweet taste, it is major in the salty taste, but it has a bit sweet taste as well. Even if it is in that form, this ingredient is a major part of white sauce pasta, and of course mixed sauce pasta or red sauce pasta. Also in dals which you eat, this ingredient is used very much to give it a bit sharp and spicy taste. This looks black, and usually it comes in, like, not usually, mostly, I mean, every time it comes in the whole form, but our moms crush it so that its taste gets enhanced and it can be used properly in different dishes. So black powder form, the coarse powdered form which you can see in your kitchens or in the boxes of your kitchens, is known as black pepper. It's not the black salt I'm talking about. This is known as black pepper. Let's move on to the next one. Now I'm talking about this one. Yeah. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah. So let's have a look at this spice. This is tiny. This is not as large as it is over here. This has come in zoomed form, but this is actually really tiny. And it is seen in clustered form everywhere. You use good amount of it in every dish. So by looking at this picture itself, can anybody tell me the name for this one? Now this is really easy because this is found everywhere, and this is also treated when your stomach is upset and everything. So let's have a look at this. Its shape, its color, and everything, and then let's guess that what is it. So let's read the hints. It says, I am a small and skinny chap. I am a small and skinny chap. Sometimes I'm brown and sometimes black. See how well they have rhymed it. It is really small, as I've told you that they come in cluster form, and these are not as big as the picture is showing, but these are really small and they come in a huge box, and they are really skinny, and sometimes I'm brown and sometimes black. So it's not just always brown in color, you can usually see a black tint as well in it. And added to hot oil and ghee, I spread my fragrance all around me. Now this is something really nice, and I have experienced this, trust me, in my life, because I usually cook, and whenever I put some amount of it into the burning oil, first of all it makes a good sound like shh, like that, the sound of tadka. And also on this, at the same time, it produces very good fragrance, which is like really nice to smell. And I spread my fragrance all around me when I am roasted, and we usually roast it. It is not just like we've put this thing inside the dish and then we've put another things. No, we give it time to get roast to produce its flavor. And curd and jaljeera are favorite to me. So that means these are the two things in which this thing is used usually. Okay. And the last line says again, guess who am I? So all of these are the hints which you can read again. You can imagine and you can explore your kitchen there, and you can explore every corner of your kitchen and think about something which looks like that. And you can think about your mom's cooking. What do they add which gives an instant fragrance, and it gets roasted and it enhances the flavors. That all can it's that which I all I can say. And it looks skinny, it's in brownish blackish color. So let's think about it. Let's get into our kitchen, imaginary kitchen, and देखते हैं कि किसको सबसे पहले पता चलता है कि ये चीज़ क्या है. Let's take a minute and think. All right. So let me disclose its name. These are cumin seeds. That is known as jeera, or some of you can call it zira. I don't know. We call it jeera, and these are known as cumin seeds in English. And as you can see, all of these are in seed form, a seed like that. And the cumin seeds are the major ingredient for every dal, every sabji, every Indian food. The jeera, when roasted in oil, enhances the flavor, and it gives you good fragrance, and it gives you good sound. Okay, and it is a really delicious thing. If you want your dish to be really delicious, you can put this inside it. So I'm going to write cumin seeds over here. So this is the word that we need to keep in mind. Okay, I'm going to change the color because the color is not enough visible over here. I'm going to make it in red. Cumin seeds. There we go. Cumin seeds. And like that. Where is it? There we go. So till now, what we have learned is about the 4 major spices which are the major ingredients in every dish. It is the red chili, it is turmeric, which is haldi, it is black pepper, which we call in Hindi as kali mirch, and These are the cumin seeds जो कि हम बोलते हैं जीरा और जीरा. Now let's move on to the next one, which is this. So it looks exactly like that. Its shape is like that, but it does not have a face and lips and everything. It's just for your fun. So it's in black color and it looks like that. And the hints are as follows. I look like a nail, but a bud am I. Chocolate brown color and a strong smell have I. When your toothache makes you shout, I soothe the pain in your mouth. Think and tell me who am I. Tell me quickly who am I. This is the best hint they could have given because it has happened with me several times. I usually experience toothaches frequently, and this is the best remedy which my homemates give me. So, what do we need to do is I just take one or two things from here. I'll disclose the name later, and I just put it with the area or on the area which is paining inside my mouth over the tooth which is paining, and when it releases its liquid in your saliva, it gives you instant relief from your pain. So this is used as a remedy again. Your grannies must be using this regularly. Secondly, again, this is one important ingredient in our dishes. हिंदी में तो हम इसको बोलते हैं यूजली खड़ा मसाला, इसको हम ऐसे बोलते हैं बिकॉज ये पाउडर्ड फॉर्म में नहीं होता है. हम इसको एज इट इज़ डालते हैं इन्हांस करने के लिए टेस्ट. इसका टेस्ट बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग होता है, अच्छा होता है. इट मेक्स योर डिश टेस्ट रियली नाइस. और स्ट्रॉन्ग स्मेल अगेन इज़ रिटन ओवर हियर, एज यू कैन सी इसकी बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग स्मेल होती है. और इसका कलर मैंने आपको थोड़ा ब्लैकिश बताया था, बट वो थोड़ा डार्क ब्राउन भी आप कह सकते हो, चॉकलेट ब्राउन. I look like a nail. It is exactly of this shape, and by this shape, I think you all can guess what thing is it. Or even if you don't know its name, you must have seen this in your kitchens. I'm really sure. I soothe the pain in your mouth, which I have told you, and you can experience this as well. That even if one of you experience toothache, or anybody in your family experiences toothache, you can instantly give them this to be put on the area which is paining, and it will relieve you properly. These are known as cloves or clove, you can call it either way. So clove is basically the correct word. इसको हिंदी में हम बोलते हैं so I'll search this word in Hindi for you. Clove is the thing which I know, or this can be one homework for you, that since I do not know that, you can search and you can ask your moms what do we call this in Hindi, and we are going to discuss this in the next session then. Now there is one activity based on the spices that we have just learned. It says now try and make your own riddles about two other spices. Ask those riddles in your class, draw pictures of the two spices in your notebook and write their names. So the first activity, which is really interesting, we have given you 4 to 5 spices with good riddles there, which makes your task really easy to guess. All you need to do is that when you go home, explore 2 more spices, make riddle from that and ask your friends, and then let's see if your friends are able to guess it or not. Okay, you can first search for some other spices. You can take the help of your mothers and you can explore what spices do you have in your kitchen. You can explore their names and how do they look, and you can also ask your mothers to put that in oil. So how do they sound, where do we use it? You can just take the help of the mothers and आप explore कर सकते हो, and उस पर based आप rhyme करके एक riddle बनाओ. कैसी भी riddle बनाओ with few hints. That makes our task easier to guess. And then जब हम कल next class में आएंगे तो हम एक दूसरे से पूछेंगे. Even you can ask me and let's see if I know that or not. And you can also draw a rough picture of how it looks like in your notebooks. The second activity is yeah. So the second is find out which spices are used in your house for cooking. Make a list and look at your friends list too. ये भी आपका होमवर्क रहेगा. आपको घर जाना है अगेन यू हैव टू गो इनटू योर किचन. अपने किचन में जाओ, आप डिफरेंट एक स्पाइसेस का जो एक यूजुअली एक डब्बा होता है हर एक के घर में, आप उसको देखो, आप उसमें कलर्स देखो, आप अपनी मम्मा से पूछो कि कौन से स्पाइसेस इसमें डले हैं, और आप उनके नाम यहाँ नोट करो. देयर आर सो मेनी स्पाइसेस, दैट इज़ वाई वी गिवन यू 6 मोर ऑप्शंस टू फिल. तो आप इसमें डालना कि आपके पास कौन सी और स्पाइसेस हैं. बहुत सारी स्पाइसेस होती हैं. नेक्स्ट, द एक्टिविटी इज़ when your grandparents were young, which spices were used most in their kitchens? Find out from them and write here. Now, for this, you need to talk to your grandparents. You can ask them कि पुराने ज़माने में कौन से मसाले यूज़ होते थे. Because see, with this era, the spices, the use of spices have changed a lot. The spices, few spices have added, few are not being used anymore. So you can go back into their times and you can ask कि कौन से होते थे. Usually they will tell you the names in Hindi. You can write them in Hindi, but then side by side you can explore and ask your mothers or your friends that what do we call a particular spice in English. And that's how you can make a list of the spices which were used in old times. There were many. Even I do not know. For that, even I need to ask my grandparents. And that would be the homework for myself too. Even I'm going to do it when I go to my home, and I'm going to ask my grandparents that what were those spices and what do we call and how were they used. So किसी को कुकिंग करनी आती है या नहीं? Can anybody tell me? किसी ने कभी घर पे कुक करा है, चाहे छोटा मोटा चीज़, या कभी मम्मा की हेल्प करी हो कुछ डालने में कि मम्मा I'll do this for you, I'll put this spice for you. Yes. So let's move ahead and let's see what do we have next. Now अब हम based on what we have studied few questions discuss करेंगे. The first question is name one spice which is put into both sweet and salty things. Can you give me the name of one spice जो कि आपकी मिठाई मीठी चीज़ों में भी यूज़ होती है और सॉल्टी चीज़ों में भी यूज़ होती है, और ये आई थिंक हम अभी डिस्कस कर चुके हैं. Who is going to give me the name for that? I remember its name very well. Yes, so that is black pepper. Because हम उसको किसी अगर हमें कुछ मिठाइयाँ भी बनानी हो हम तब भी उसमें डालते हैं, और हम ऑफ कोर्स सॉल्टी थिंग्स में भी डालते हैं. Black pepper. The next one is find out what is put into food to make it taste sour. Sour मतलब खट्टा. खट्टापन किससे आता है? Who is going to give me the answer for that? Now this time they're not talking about a particular spice. You can tell me anything which gives a sour taste to your food. Think about it. So the answer which is coming into my mind is lemon. मैं तो अगर चीज़ को खट्टा करना हो तो मैं उसमें लेमन डालती हूँ. It gives a brilliant taste. It's safe. वो आपके गले को भी ख़राब नहीं करेगा और आपको खट्टापन भी आ जाएगा और आपको चीज़ अच्छी होगी. Usually when I find my दाल और my सब्जी very bland without any taste, so I add lemon to it. Also lemon is added to your salad to make it really delicious and खट्टापन. Sometimes you need खट्टापन. You do not need bland taste food. So for that lemon is being added. So this is not a spice, but since they have not asked for any particular spice, I'm going to write lemon over here. This is for खट्टापन. So in the next session, हम एक dish बनाएंगे, which is let us try making a spicy potato chaat. Now by this I am really hungry and I really want to have something. So let's end the session and let's have something. And your homework is for today is to explore different spices. You can go into the kitchen and explore it. So let's continue in the next session. Have a good day, everybody. Bye.